folks. How you going? We're here again. We've had a few little issues to get here, but we're here. So we've got Pat with us, and we're just going to have a bit of a chat to the Aussies here, and see if we can work out what we need to do over here, folks, to sort of get a few things, moving ahead without, getting ourselves kicked off Facebook or arrested or anything else. But so we've been trying to just get on here for a little while, and we'll just give a few people a little bit to get in. I think Pat's frozen on me at the moment. I don't know.
He's black.
Looks like he's gone black. So I'll remove him, and we'll just try and add him again, see if we can pick him up. Mate, we're having some hassles, folks, I'll tell you what.
Can you hear me at least?
Yeah, I can hear you, Pat. Yeah.
Yeah, they want to play with me, buddy. They want to play with us.
Okay, so you're black at the moment. So we'll bring the comments up. Yeah, g'day, Adele. How you going? So listen, Pat's in the background there, obviously, folks. So
maybe if he leaves and then comes.
Yeah, I don't know if you maybe reboot, Pat. I don't know, mate. I was
No, just leave the studio and come back.
Yeah, just leave the studio and then come back in. And just see if it lets you back in, Pat. It may. I'll just keep talking while you do it. So yeah, folks, we're going to have a few little issues, I think, here for a little while trying to communicate, and this is why the things like float and that are so going to be so invaluable to us. You know what I mean? To be able to talk. Yeah, he'll do it. So yeah, here we go. We got him back. Hey, righto.
You got to understand that. So what I was doing was I was sharing it to my social media platform. So.
Yeah. Nah, cool. That's
so
good.
I blanked out my screen probably for a little bit, but I just posted it to my personal page. I posted it to my page. We should hopefully see some people soon.
Cool. That's good.
We got a big event going on right now. We've got about 100 people parked outside with sleeping bags and pillows outside the prison in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Yeah.
So we better tell you why that's gone on, folks. So Pat's had a few little dramas over there trying to get out and be with the people around there. Chris Sky and a couple others. His mate Chris. So Pat, tell us what's happened in the last day or two that's led into this event. Yeah.
So basically what's going on here in Canada is we've got massive rallies in every city across Canada with regards to our election coming up. We have a big election coming up. So we're trying to encourage, and we've got everybody that in our network all dancing around the country, attempting to put the press and put the people in hard on the election here. So what you're seeing here in Canada is rallies every day on the streets. Just the other day, we had the firemen standing in solidarity by themselves in silent protest. Now we have rallies all over Ontario, people trying to basically, bring awareness as to how important this election is. And what happened was two of our major speakers here in Canada, part of the team here, is they got arrested today. And when they got arrested for stupid charges for no reason, just enough to basically piss everybody off is what they're trying to do. Trying to scare, intimidate, psychological warfare, saying, "Oh, if you do this, this could be you." One of them was Kellyanne Wolf. Kelly's just been released. She was released around 7:00 today. She was released, and then Chris Sky, who's pretty loud and outspoken here as well. He's still in there. They're not letting him out. Maybe letting him out tomorrow. But what we've got now is we've got everybody grab their tents, sleeping bags, cars, motorhomes, and they're parked outside right now outside the Central Hamilton, Ontario police station to basically, if you're not going to let him out, we're not going to let you out kind of thing.
Okay, so you've rallied the troops. The troops are turned up, and that's how you do things, Patrick. Hey, that's how you get things done, mate.
Well, you gotta understand. These guys aren't playing fair, and if the cops are going to break the law, well, then it's time that we break the fucking law.
Yeah.
Well, we'll break the law. We'll loiter. We'll trespass. We'll do whatever we want. You know why? Because it's our country, not theirs.
And are you actually in lockdown at the moment, Pat, in that area of where that prison is? Are you supposed to be out congregating like that, or?
No, you're not. You're not allowed to have rallies larger than 100 people. You're not allowed to go anywhere without a mask. You got to understand, we've got 13 provinces in Canada. Out of those 13 provinces, only 2 have no mask mandates, mine being one of them. I'm leaving tomorrow to travel down that way. It's a 3-day drive. So I'm getting in a car, driving 3 days to get to the eastern part of the country so that I could cover the election for Real Deal Media. Now, these are my partners. These are my crew. These are the people that I work with. These are my how do you say it? My Eastern correspondents. These are my people on the east side of the country.
Yeah.
So what I'm expecting now is these guys, as soon as I cross that border into that state or into that province, they're going to be gunning for me now. Now that I'm going to be there, and I know that's what's the plan. I've already got it situated and everything. I've got a driver. I've got a chauffeur. I've got security. I've got the power of social media. I've got phone recordings. I've got cameras. I've got everything. So they don't understand, and I know that a lot of people don't understand this. But when you're a journalist, they can't stop you from doing what we're doing. That's against the law. Well, I'm going in as a journalist, buddy, with Real Deal.
That's it. Well, yeah, right. I do the same thing over here, Patrick, but they don't really appreciate me being media, I don't think, and they don't want to accept it, But I think that from my last little run-in with the police and then the detectives in Wollongong, I think that they do realise now that, I am media. I do have a show. I am part of Real Deal Media, and, and we're doing what, they've got their mainstream media doing, mate. The same thing. They're out there doing what they got to do. They're reporting on things, you know what I mean? And, we should have that free right to do the same. But unfortunately, Patrick, it's just getting harder and harder every day for us to be able to do that and get real information out there. So we just got to keep kicking on there, folks. But we've got a Monica Smith here who, a lot of people who will be tuning in here, Pat, in Canada, they mightn't know who she is, but we'll get a bit more of this information out. And we're going to do a thing with Stuart Rhodes with the Oath Keepers, okay, sometime pretty well this week, I think, with Dean. And, we're going to have a chat about, Monica, Reignite Australia Democracy Party. And her bail conditions, Patrick, were she got picked up last Tuesday, a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she is still in jail. They still haven't let her out. She refuses to sign the bail conditions, which say tear down your party, tear down your political party. You're on a gag order. You can't talk. You can't do this. You can't do that. So, since when have we been able to put someone in jail to actually tear down a political party? Seriously, I haven't seen it before, mate.
Well, we have political parties popping up left and right of right wing side. I don't even like saying right wing, left wing, whatever.
Yeah.
I say smart and stupid. We got a lot of smart people trying to open up their own parties out here. This is an election that I really think that Australia really needs to pay attention to. You got to watch who this idiot's going to get put into this position now here in Canada. Remember, we as Commonwealth countries are the Queen's fucking piggy bank. She gets rich off the backs of us.
Yeah.
So we're sitting here going, oh yeah, who's she picking next? Who are they picking next? Who are these sons of bitches going to put in next? Well, you watch, because everything that's happening to you guys is going to happen here. I'm not kidding. And when this happens here, I don't want to be snarky. I don't want to be smart assish, but we're watching what you guys aren't doing.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the opposite here.
Yeah.
And that is you guys, and I don't mean this mean.
No, you're being truthful.
You guys are fucked. You got nobody standing up. You get a couple 100,000 people on the streets to do a protest, and then you give up. You go back to your house, you put your face diaper back on so you can go get groceries. Not saying everybody, but I'm saying once you had that momentum, you needed to hold on to it. And that means you needed to get to your media establishments. You needed to get to your municipalities. I saw a lot of the videos. A lot of the people that did stand up, great. But they don't stop at protesting. This does not stop at protesting. I know you've got court cases. I see the court cases going. But you need to keep the pressure on these guys. Just like they're doing to us, keeping the pressure on. Well, we're switching it back, and now the pressure's on them. We have thousands of people in courts here in Canada. Thousands of people. The court system is overloaded over this. And every single one of them have grounds under constitutional rights to do what they're doing. We've found documents after documents after documents that prove it. Now, the people know this, and they're fucking powerful. The knowledge is power. And once they have that knowledge, they're actually exercising it here. Because we don't want what's happening to you guys happening to us. Our hearts go out to you guys.
Yeah, it's coming down hard here, Patrick. It really is, mate. You know, and I've got to be careful about what I say on here. You know that, you know what I mean? But I'm sitting in my own country, you're sitting in Canada, you're fine to give your opinion. I can give my opinion up to a certain point. But yeah, look, and what I've been saying now, Pat, over here is to the people who have actually had this thing, you know what I mean? Like, would not you think that you people should be out in society? You know, you've done what the government asked, you've conformed, you know, but you're still locked sitting in your house, you know. Now, you and I know the reasons for that, but if I go out blurting them reasons, I'm going to get nailed, bloke. You know, they'll be knocking on the door before you and me finish this live stream. So, you know, I ask the people, why are you sitting in your houses? You know what I mean? Why? You know, and yeah, one of the small answers is because it's got nothing to do, you know, with letting you back out, folks. You know, it's got all to do with control. And we've seen that. Yeah.
If I say this?
Yep.
There's a saying that we've got going around here in Canada, and that saying is this: no one gets out of here alive. No matter what you're doing in life, you're not going to get out of this alive. Yeah. Would you rather live under tyranny, or would you rather stand for something instead of kneeling for nothing? So what? They're going to lock you down. They're going to arrest you. At least you stood for something. And if they take me out, I'm ready to go. I've got nothing to lose anymore. And at least when I go, I know that I'm going to the right place because I did the right thing.
Amen. Yeah.
And that's what you guys need to understand. No one gets out of here alive. Their agenda is pre-designed. This is predetermined. They can't stop. They aren't going to stop. They can't. They're too far into this.
Yep. Yeah, and that's where we are now, Pat. Like you said, they're showing the way over here in Australia, mate. You know, this has just got absolutely ridiculous. You know, they're pulling in the South African apartheid, mate, and they're doing it with the miracle. You know, and that's how they're going to do it. You know, it's but yeah, we've got a lot of bucking up. We got a lot of Facebook sites coming up out here, Pat, that are saying, you know, we're just for the unvaxxed, you know what I mean? Or we don't care whether you're vaxxed or not vaxxed, you know, we're going to let you in. So, and I think overnight, one of these Facebook sites, all right, I saw today, got 10,000 followers overnight to support unvaxxed people.
Awesome.
Now that's
congratulations.
Big. Yeah. So now that shows you what the general consensus and groundswell is out there, but still, the people are, you know, they're scared us over here, Pat. That's exactly what they've done. They've got us scared to a state that no one's, you know, game to move, mate, you know, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. We've now had our politicians who have been given a daily report every day of the week, 7 days a week. I don't even watch them, but I'm just sick of hearing their, you know, bullshit comments. But they're now stopping that as from Sunday. Now, the reason they're actually stopping that is because Berejiklian, you know, most people don't know this, but Berejiklian is in front of a thing over here called ICAC, okay? And that's a federal, she's being charged with actually doing some dodgy stuff in Parliament to make her boyfriend at the time, you know, a few $1 million, mate, on a deal. And she got caught, you know what I mean? And she's got to go to court now. So here she is going, oh, we're going to stop it for, you know what I mean, because we've just been doing it for that long. I need to get back. This is keeping me from my job. It's not keeping her from a job at all. It's keeping her from the court case she has to go and front up.
Right,
So,
right.
you know, there's so much crap going on over here. So, yeah, they've just more or less run away now, Pat, and left, I don't know who in charge. You know what I mean? These dopey health ministers.
Do you know who's in charge? You got puppets in front of the camera.
Yeah. We got the CCP in charge. We know exactly who's in charge.
That's right. You got it. And they're pulling the strings, and they're coming for you. They don't care about you. They got a whole country full of about 4 billion people waiting to take over Aussie land.
Exactly right. And they will. If we let them, they will. You know, but we do have a bit of a turn in tides. Well, I was watching a solicitor this morning who was having a bit of a chat, and he was actually talking to Stu Peters, Pat, okay? And he's the guy that's got the Supreme Court stuff going in New South Wales. And yeah, he was just saying that, you know, it's not a matter when Stu asked him, can we win? He said, it's not a matter of can we win, we have to win. That's it. That's the bottom line. You have no choice. But he also said that a lot of police and that are now coming to him. You know, he had a few before who weren't happy with what's going on. He said, but the actual jump in the last, you know, week or so since these court cases have gone on in the Supreme Court and that, of police officers, okay, and authorities actually getting hold of him to tell him that they're not happy with what they're being made do, but what do they do about it? You know what I mean? So, again, maybe we're going to have the boys in blue, you know, and I thought that was quite ironic, you know, because here they are. They've been shooting at us. They've been hitting us with rubber bullets. They've been hitting us with tear gas.
This is what you do.
Yeah.
This is what you do. You fight them. You fight them on every terrain they have. These are court documents. Yeah. Fight them. Fight them on the streets. Fight them in your businesses. Fight them in your homes if you have to fight them in your homes. You fight. But you know why? Because nobody gets out of here alive. And I'd rather die for something than kneel for nothing, guys.
Kneel for nothing. Yeah.
I got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And I'm a dangerous man, and they know it.
Yeah. No, and look, we've been talking about this for a long time now. You know, you've been doing this for quite a few years, Pat, me not as long as you. But, you know, like for any of us people out there that are awake, we know what the hidden agenda is, and they are screaming it out that fast that they've actually took me by surprise. And I was awake to it. I knew what was coming. Okay, I knew all their playbook. I still know all their playbook. I know what's coming, people, and it ain't good. Okay, but you know they have moved it out that quick, Pat. They have actually surprised me, mate. It's actually got me blindsided.
It surprised us too. I've been screaming for the last 4 years about Agenda 2030 to everybody. I went on tour around Canada, informing people about what's coming. I brought some awareness to Canada, to bring that attention to people. And they suppressed me hard. Well, now they can't suppress me. There's too many people out there, and they're trying to scare you. But what I like to tell people is once you have the information that we have, once you have the knowledge that we have, which we have at the ready, anytime you guys want, you get a hold of me, I'll send you everything. I'll show you it all.
We'll be getting all that stuff over here.
Once you have that, sorry, Guru. Once you have that power, though, that power, now you know. Fear is of the unknown. And once you know it, you can no longer be afraid of it. Yeah. And that's the truth.
You released papers and that this morning, or had papers released you've been trying to get for a while, Pat. You want to explain to the viewers what they are and, you know, how we can use them when I get them into my possession over here to, you know, help us maybe.
Absolutely. So what I have in these documents is I took my chief medical officer of health to court under these stupid laws that they're stating that they have a virus running around out there. Well, inside that document right here, it says the chief medical officer of health has no material evidence. That means the evidence that I requested was the isolation of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. And I have 95 documents for the Freedom of Information Act that state, even from the CDC, from the United States of America, stating, oh, it's 11/11 here. Good luck. Good look at this. We're on the right path. But it states, I asked for the isolation of the SARS-CoV-2 virus and all white papers describing the isolation of the SARS-CoV-2 virus in human beings being directly from a sample taken from a diseased patient, because these white papers would have been integral in the crafting of the statutes made under the Public Health Act. here in Alberta, Canada. I also asked for no PCR tests. It can't be done in a PCR test. It's got to be done from a diseased patient. That means no genetically modified testing in a lab. It couldn't be made in the lab and then isolated. It has to be from an actual diseased patient. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, 95 documents, 30 of which are from Canada, 32 of which are from Canada, and the other 63 or the 53 are from is that right? My math's off a little bit. It's late here. But anyways, the other ones are from around the world, one being from the CDC. Now, when somebody has attempted to do this in England, this is the catalyst. Now we've gotten Guru. I don't think I've even told you this part. We have somebody who attempted to do this in England under their Freedom of Information Act. Well, they gave them back that they did isolate it. They did isolate it. Okay, so where did you isolate it? In a lab.
In a lab, yeah.
Because this is a man-made virus. They're not denying that there's something out there. It's not that deadly. It's enough to put scare into you. It's enough to put a fear into you. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2020, we got rid of the flu. It was the best year in the humanity. We eradicated the flu.
Yeah.
People say, well, how did we do that? Well, because people were wearing their masks.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, why are the SARS numbers going up? Well, because people aren't wearing their masks.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Can you repeat that? That's what we repeat that again.
Yeah.
I swear, buddy, the fucking world went through an IQ test and 95% of the fucking world failed.
They have failed it. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And it's, a lot of the people you thought would never have failed anything, you know what I mean, are the people that have failed it, Pat,
It's my running statement lately.
Yeah. Yeah, so, we're working. We got groups working over here and, we've got your first lot of court documents. You've got all the rest of the stuff that's coming out there now, the PDFs and the other stuff. So, we'll be interested. Yeah, get in and have a look at that. But I know someone in Ireland actually done it as well. I forget her name now, but yeah,
April 20th, 2020, they did it.
Yeah.
But they suppressed that information too.
Well, everything, yeah. And look, as we all know, folks, all the best, the best virologists in the world and that, they're all getting suppressed. But, we've got a bit of stuff and I'll just let Pat chat to you and I'll just pull something out of here, Pat, because I just want to let some people know exactly. Oops, sorry, I've given the wrong one there.
Well, I guess I'll take over now because Guru hit the wrong button. That's all right. You know what? I got a place. It's called freepeel.ca. You can go onto that website under freepeel.ca and you can pull up the documents, the 95 Freedom of Information Acts that you can pull up for yourself to use to empower yourself. So that you have these documents, you can get them out to the people and you can help save yourselves. And that's what we've got here. We've got all of that information for every single one of you. And the power is it's in your hands. Do you want to live like this forever? Or do you want to live free, be able to provide for your family and have a somewhat chance at a decent life? Because if you don't, then go back to sleep, carry on. But for the rest of us, don't trash us because we want to live our lives. It's not our fault that we have a brain and we choose to make a decision to live free. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you guys. If you want to take a jab and an experimental vaccine, go ahead. That's your choice. I've never told anybody not to get it. I've said, don't get it because of this, and this. I've never openly stopped somebody and said, don't go do that. Because it's their choice. And they can make that choice on their own.
Exactly right. And just to give you an idea, Pat, I'm just pulling up the clip here. My computer's a little bit slow, but, we all know that, most of the people on here will know that we've got such a thing as a constitution, okay, and it does look after us, folks. So I'm going to, as soon as it decides to come up, we're just going to whack this on in a minute.
How many people you got in here? I can't see it because I'm on my phone.
Hang on, I'll just share this up. On mine, I've probably around the 50 or something, Pat. Yeah, sitting on here, but I'm shadow banned too, mate. My numbers will mean nothing, mate. You know what I mean? They just won't mean anything. So I'll come back to. I'll just put us here, and we're just going to put this little thing here into the stream. Hang on. Righto. And
There with audio?
Yeah, we'll just get the audio. Yeah, this thing's running a little bit slow. Bear with us, folks. But this is just what's going on. This is at Maroubra Beach, folks.
Okay. We'll investigate further. So sunbathing is not essential. Yeah.
Nobody on the beach.
Okay, thank you very much. And your stance as well is the exact same as this gentleman?
Yeah, I agree. You may be potentially breaching the public health order at this point in time.
Okay, do we believe that the public health order is superseding common law? Is it
Okay, we're not arguing points of law with you. We're acting on the public health order. You need to be outside for an essential reason. You are in a hotspot zone for the COVID virus. Unfortunately, we must enforce that, like, you've got to be like for an essential reason. Laying on the beach, just having a sunbathe, like, it's not an essential reason to be outside. Now, we're going to look further into whether you are committing an offence. I'm just going to require your identification, okay?
Okay, and I explained to you.
I do not accept your offer to contract. No, thank you. Have a nice day. You have a warrant? Fuck off.
Freedom of work, what you're doing.
This guy's pretty good, Pat, but this is what we can all do.
I don't know what university you studied law at, but that's quite an unusual law you cite. I'm going to cite.
I'm going to continue for 1 second what I said off camera early on.
Okay.
I believe that a policeman acting against the law in uniform can be punished up to 20 years in prison. I don't want you
Wait. We're not breaching the law, sir.
I believe what you're stating, infringing me, telling me that I can't on the beach, that I cannot sunbathe as a human to freely move on this planet is against my inalienable right for when I was born, sir. That's against the law.
But what if you go onto someone else's property, like, and you're not allowed to be on someone else's
Look at this young punk. He's got no idea.
Right to move? Like, look, I'm not going to argue law with you, but, like, it's just...
We've just argued.
No. Why would you argue the law? You are the law. You should know it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're going to get infringed. All I'm saying is, like, we need to have a look at your identity. We need to check it. And we need to make sure that you're not committing an offence today.
Next, I do not need to give you my name or identification.
Say that. Pause that. Pause it. Pause it right now. Pause. Pause that. Pause that. Pause the video.
Hang on. It's going to take a minute.
Sarge, if you...
Right.
Okay. Did he really just say that? Did he really just say that?
Yeah.
He said that. That wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
This isn't. Are we watching Saturday Night Live? Like, are we watching stand-up comedy right now? Because what I heard, everything. Yeah, replay that. That was hilarious. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Here it is, folks.
We need to check it. And we need to make sure that you're not committing an offence.
Next point on that. I do not need to give you my name.
I need your idea to make sure you
have committed an offence. If you gentlemen, both of you, feel free to get your sarge. If you feel free, against my consent, to force me to do something like exercise like a prisoner.
I'm not trying to force you to do
anything. You told me to run. Go exercise.
No, I haven't told you to do that.
Go exercise. You haven't
said
said that. Are you sure? Because you're on camera as well. You have said that. Go take a run. Go walk.
No, I gave you some suggestions on what you can do outside.
Okay, so I can't sit there. I can't take in the sun. I cannot sunbathe. And you are going to arrest me on that. I'm going to give you one more. I'm going to give you 1 point.
Oh no, he's not.
No.
If you do try and arrest me, I am not consenting to what you are arresting me for.
I do not consent to contract.
You will be placed into a contract with me, of which I will nominate a fee per hour for you and your colleague to prepare my case against you.
Honestly, man, I'm
Okay.
only talking about identification. Why can't you identify
Okay.
yourself?
Keep pressing me.
I don't understand what the issue is. Why?
You're going to enter into a contract. I've told you what the ramifications of that contract
I'm not
are.
going to argue points of law with you because, like,
You're a
it's irrelevant. Essentially committed an offence. We're looking
If
into
I
what that.
committed an offence, please, you know what, you said you could arrest me. I do not consent to that. I don't believe that sunbathing for an Irish white guy is an offence.
Do you understand the Public Health Order Act?
I don't believe that is any infringement on my right as a human being from when I was born at all.
Okay, so you just don't believe in the Public Health Order Act? Is that it?
I do not believe in the laws when you are born, and anything to be infringed upon that is contrary to the law. And you telling me in uniform that is contrary to the law?
So I don't know your name, but we're gonna go have a chat with our supervisors, and we'll see what actually.
Yeah,
makes
you
this
are.
different.
Oh yeah, you are.
Yeah,
you are.
Not to say, follow me. I will pursue because I don't believe this conversation.
All right, cool, gents.
Would like to go
We're gonna
any
go have a chat
further.
with our supervisors. It's fine. I know I can see you quite agitated. We're not trying to
For
agitate you.
humanity, I am. You guys were on the beach trying to stop people from lying around. Irish white people from lying around.
Okay, if it's self-righteous, whatever.
Please,
Yeah, whatever, carry on.
Yeah.
Ladies
So
and
there you go.
gentlemen,
Yeah, whatever.
what you just saw is exactly what you need to do. I do not accept your offer to contract under inalienable rights. You can go fuck your hat.
So, yeah, that guy just put it blatantly out there, folks, what the law is. Now, look, that young cop there, he's just like come out of the academy, man. I can tell he's 19. I don't think he's ever had a shave yet, Pat. And that guy just nailed him, man. But guess what, folks? That is every one of our rights to do that. Now, that little thing when he said there, look, I'm going to enter you into a contract and I'm going to charge you X amount of money. Well,
Yep.
I have one of them already filled out in my car, Pat, for the next time that somebody would like to talk to me. You know what I mean? And before we have that chat, and they're on $10,000 an hour, mate, or any bit thereof. You know what I mean?
Yep,
And if they
100%.
falsely arrest me, they're on 50 grand. You know, and I've got it all filled out there under common law, and it's just ready to, hand over. And, buddy, have a look at this before you actually, make your mind up on what you would like to do with me. Yeah. So this is our rights, people, but we need to pick up our rights, okay? And I'm not telling anyone to go out there and rally and do anything. I'm saying pick up.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you to do it. I don't care. I'm telling you. Guru, I'm telling them. Not you.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick King from Canada is telling you to go out and do this.
Okay. And I'm telling you to, use the law that you have, which is called a constitution, okay, which gives you inalienable rights, okay, to your freedom to travel the land. My opinion only, but my opinion is backed by the Constitution, okay, 1901, okay, the preamble said it all, okay. So, folks, that was just the perfect video, and I just wanted to get Patrick on here, right, and just show, because I don't know how many people have seen that video. It's only just come out. I'd say these guys this is very recent, Patrick, you know what I mean? So I reckon these guys are up on Maroubra Beach maybe yesterday or today, not this morning, but probably yesterday, I'd say. It was a pretty nice day again. So, yeah, a white guy, Irish guy, trying to get a bit of sunshine, mate, and he just kicked back. Yeah, he just kicked back.
He's white, he's Irish, you don't tan. That's the irony of that.
Yeah.
That's the irony of it.
Yeah. And look, folks, he kept his cool. He kept a monotone. He kept calm. And the cop's saying to him, I can see you getting a bit upset. Well, no, the guy wasn't getting upset at all, man. He was just stating what the law is and what you're going to do. Now, you are going to get some sergeants and that who think that they are just a little bit tougher than our young 19-year-old cop that's just come out the academy here that are going to come down on you folks. And that is going to happen, okay? I'm going to get it when I go out. If I do the wrong thing, you know, I'm not going out to do the wrong thing or poke the bear, but if I go out and happen to be, they tell me that I'm doing the wrong thing, you are going to get certain officers that even if we use this, they are not going to, but they're not going to like it, and they're not going to put up with it, okay? But the thing is, when all this tyranny is over, folks, all right, the lawsuits are on. Okay, that's it. You know, it's as simple as that. You know what I mean? You just put them in your hip pocket. Okay, the fines. Okay, I know someone who got a fine for something recently, okay, to do with being out without a mask or whatever it was, but to do with this so-called Biosecurity Act. And the court date he got, folks, was 2023. Okay, so tell me New South Wales already, our court system is not starting to get chocked up with all this crap because everyone's asking for a court appearance, you know?
That's exactly what we're doing here too. We're flogging the court.
Okay. Yeah.
We're flogging the courts by the thousands.
Yeah, we're using our brains here, folks, okay? These things cannot stand up in court, okay? They get proved, they get beaten all the time, okay? It is part of the scare tactic, my opinion only, that is coming down from the authorities to keep us in rule for the CCP, to put us in our little houses, what's left of us, give us $1,000 a month and we'll be happy, okay?
Universal income, and
Yeah,
they say it here openly in our parliament here in Canada, you will have nothing and be happy. That's what they say.
Yeah.
They're killing people in Australia for wearing a mask. They're what was the other one? Your health ministers and your people in political positions are openly stating the new world order.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't even have to show that. That has been all around everywhere, Pat. And anyone that's been watching the mainstream, I could flick them up now, but what the hell? You know, I mean, anyone that's watching mainstream seen it, and everybody.
They don't even hide it anymore. Your country doesn't even hide it.
No, and that come on, Pat. Listen, that come on 9 News, 7 News, Sunrise, and Channel 10. So there's 4 mainstream medias, okay, that all come out and use the phrase "New World Order." Okay, all on the same day, and we know how they do it. It's all scripted, mate. You know what I mean? That's what I've been telling people.
Do the people out there even know what the New World Order is? And that's the question. And this is something I bring up to a lot of people. I went around Canada for 2 years, traveling around, educating people on the Great Reset, Agenda 2021, Agenda 2030, and what this all means and what the New World Order entails. The New World Order, 100%, is a universal governed body that you do not elect, you do not vote for. They will oversee everything that you do from a higher up hierarchy of people that think they know the best for you and me. They're going to give you a little income so that you can make the bread line. You're going to work, say you're a driller on an oil rig. Okay, you make good money. You work really hard. Well, you're going to make $15. And that kid at McDonald's, he's going to make $15. You're going to work. You're going to make the same wage. One's going to be risking his life all day while the other one's flipping burgers. What that's going to do is basically 100%, I'm telling you right now, you're going to live like the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Okay? You're going to be certain districts. And I'm only using this as an analogy because a lot of people can relate to that movie because it was a good movie. Well, it was a good movie for a reason. They were trying to tell you what was about to happen. Now you're going to be the District of Australia. You're going to live in this military policed state. You're not going to be able to travel unless you're above class. And that means you abide by everything. You yes, sir, no, sir, how high, sir, kind of thing. And the other class is going to live in poverty, and it's going to be horrible. The same thing here in Canada, except for in Canada, we have the resources. We are going to be the new home of Capital City, like in Hunger Games. They know this. They'll have the districts down in the States, but up here in Canada, we're a sparse population spread out over a vast landscape with top of the grade, level 1 resources. They look at us as a national park, because we have such pristine land here. They're going to put this kind of mentality into the whole world. And their agenda is 800 million people only in the world. We have 7 billion people. Why only 800 million? Because that's a nominal amount to be able to control and govern. Right now, they've lost control. They're 100% out of control. So what did they do? They put these death jabs out so that when they flick the switch, boom, everybody drops. Well, I ain't one of them. I ain't one of them.
No, I'd rather,
I suggest your friends in the room look up SPARS, SPARS, the SPARS pandemic 2024 to 2028. That's the new one that's coming. They've already got it where they're going to keep you in isolated communities, limited communication, limited internet access, small pockets of resistance while under a military control. It's already out. Event 201, before this came out, was Bill Gates and holding a conference of the hypothetical release of a coronavirus. This was held in October 2021. Or, sorry, October 2020.
2020, yeah.
No, October 2019 it was held. Then in January, December, we started getting a hint of there might be something out there. Then all of a sudden, January, February, March, they started pushing in 2020. So then all of a sudden we start getting locked down. Same thing as this, the SPARS pandemic. I have the PDF. I can send it to you, Guru. You can put it up. This is 100% their plan. This is what you're going to have happen. They've already got news articles in this document of how they're going to spin the media. They plan this stuff out, ladies and gentlemen. You live in a predesigned world. Why does everybody call it the Matrix? Because they've already got things planned for you 10 years in advance. What you're getting now is the onset of them hitting fast forward on the Matrix.
Exactly.
You need to unplug. Stop watching that thing. Stop watching the boob tube. Stop it. Turn it off.
Yeah, without that, there is no way, you know what I mean? They can't, they've done all this through the mainstream media, folks, and we've been telling you that for a long, long time. But, it's come to the fact now that, the apartheid's here, folks. Okay, they're splitting us up right down the middle. Okay, you know what they're doing. But also the information's out there, folks, okay? All the big doctors, all the virologists, the guys that are actually world renowned, the Robert O. Youngs, the guy I can't think of his name that left Pfizer. Sorry, Pat, I've got a brain block there at the moment. But yeah, the other virologists that Peter McCulloch and others, you know what I mean? These guys are giving out info, all right? They have found stuff, all right? Dr. Jane Ruby, okay?
She just texted me yesterday.
Yeah. Well, she, with the German doctor, you know what I mean, that come up with how the blood's all different and stuff like that. You know what I mean, how it's all coagulating and different things. There's heaps of information out there for you, folks. But what is out there for you now, right, and they can't deny, and if you go and look at it, it's hard for them to cover up. You're not going to hear it on mainstream media. You're hearing lies. But 75% of the people that are in hospital in America, I don't know what Canada's like, Pat will tell us in a minute, had the double jab. Okay, it's as simple as that. Okay, they've had the double jab. Exactly what we said was going to happen to their bodies, okay, and happen to, that they are now got a specific protein and they're not unspecific, so they can't chase anything anymore. They can only chase that one influenza and anything else coming to their body. They have no chance of doing anything because they're chasing the halfback all day. All right, they can't catch a winger. They can't catch a prop. They can't catch a center. They can only get the halfback. Okay, so what we've seen now happen, folks, is that in Israel, 75% of the people that are laying in hospital in severe illness, folks, they ain't going to make it, okay, a double feed. 75% of the people in the UK that are sitting in hospital now in dire straits, and they're probably not going to make it, folks, a double feed. Now we have winter coming back on in the Northern Hemisphere. We got summer coming in down here. Look at me. I'm in a singlet today. It's beautiful over here. Now, again, folks, this virus, it can't live above 23 degrees because no virus can. The average days here in Australia where I live, Pat, in summer, mate, are going to be around 30.
Yeah.
So we're still going to be under lockdown, but we're in 30-degree environment where this fucking thing can't live anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and people can't see it.
I live in two of those exact scenarios. I live in 30-degree Fahrenheit during the summer, and I also live in minus 30 in the winter.
In the winter. Woof.
It doesn't exist here.
Yeah. 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 And the point is, look, we know it's only an influenza what's existing out there, Pat, because we got all the information. As you said just 10 minutes ago, the flu just amazingly left, you know, and Corona took over. That was it.
We were bragging about the flu disappearing here in Canada. They were openly bragging on mainstream media. People were like, how stupid do you take us for?
Yeah.
We're not stupid people.
It's been renamed. Yeah. And as I said, you know, you look up coronavirus in the medical dictionary, and what does it do? What does it say? Influenza.
It doesn't even say that. In 1989, it stated that the coronavirus was the common cold. There's actually 15 different coronaviruses.
Yeah. Well, one of them's listed under influenza. We looked it up. Yeah, and in the medical dictionary, that's exactly what they've got it at, Pat. So,
have you watched the movie Songbird yet?
No, I don't think I have, actually. No.
I'm going to let everybody in on this. Watch the movie Songbird by Michael Bay. It was put out pre-COVID.
Yep.
And it's all about COVID.
Dr. Yu,
they're living in COVID 2024. If you don't think, okay, these people put the shit in movies so that you can say, you're lying. You saw that in a movie. Really? Really?
Yeah.
They're not even lying to you anymore. They're not even hiding it. They're putting it out there.
Yeah.
Look at The Social Dilemma on Netflix. It's a documentary, and the documentary shows how they control you by manipulating your social media. How they've been able to swing elections. How they've been able to swing you from going to buy a hamburger to go and buy a chicken cheeseburger all within 5 minutes. They've done this because there's people that are tuning you in to what you want to see, to what you prefer. They are doing this to you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been the giant experiment for the last 40 years. It's your choice if you want to wake up. But don't come down on me because I feel like being wide awake. Don't hate me. Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. I want to be wrong. Prove me wrong. I openly invite anybody across the world to prove me wrong.
Yeah. And I wish they could, Pat, because none of us want what's coming, mate. You know, we know what's coming.
Wrong. I want to be
I'd
wrong.
love to be wrong. So would I, mate. But,
we used to enjoy our little moments when they called us tinfoil hat wearers and conspiracy theorists when the whole world was still asleep. We used to enjoy those days. Because okay, I'm a little crazy. I'm nuts. Yeah. Fuck, I'm running out of conspiracy theories because they're all coming true.
They're all coming true, mate. Exactly.
I've been begging people to prove me wrong. Prove me that this doesn't exist. Prove me that we're not going through this. Prove to me that I'm wrong. And I'll gladly, on open mic, on air, wherever I am in the world, whatever channel, I will be the loudest man to say, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I made a mistake.
Yep. Yeah. And if we are wrong and we made a mistake, Pat, well, you know, we can go out and get the jab and fix it. It's no big dilemma, I don't think. You know what I mean?
A plan B. Yeah, I still have a plan B. These people don't. You're all my experiments, so I can see how long they test and whatever and what they make that works. And then when this shit really gets scary, when they really release the actual virus, the actual death thing, at least then I got a plan B.
You got a plan B. And well, you need a plan B, folks, you know. As I said, you know, like we're under lockdown over here, you know, and, you know, as far as the government and everyone will tell you, you know, we you know, suppose we need to abide by that. And I can't say anything on here. I am not inciting anyone to do anything, but I am pushing you to stay on top of your politicians, okay? All right? Stay on top of them. Keep going. We've got the lawsuits going in. We've got stuff that's going to come from Pat again, you know, different avenues from around the world where people have actually taken them on. You know, we've got different political parties out there going on. these guys have got a vote coming up in Canada that we need to watch, as Pat told us. But I tell you what,
yes.
you're still on Dominion machines, aren't you, Pat?
We own
How's
the
this gonna
Dominion machines. We make the Dominion machines. Justin Trudeau's a big investor in it. George Soros owns the building that the fucking Dominion machines are fucking housed in, where the servers are. It's George Soros's building. Aaron Cates, my partner on Real Deal Media on Canadian Patriots, he stood outside on the night of the United States election and told you that there was some serious shit going on here. There's some stuff going on here right now.
Unreal. And what is it?
Oh my God.
So Canada folks are probably about to have an election that they have no jurisdiction over whatsoever. It will be, more than likely rigged through the machines.
Yep.
And then they'll have to deal with it again.
Yep.
Like America's trying to do. So
old Sleepy Joe got in down there in the States. That's what we call him. Pedo Joe or Sleepy Joe, whatever you want to call him. Sniffing Joe, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah. Oh, Joe's
he didn't even campaign. You went to his rallies, there was like 15 people there. You go to Trump's, there's hundreds of thousands. You're going to tell me that man won? Now you go here in Canada. You got Justin Trudeau, Mr. Fancy Socks, openly getting rocks thrown at him. They're throwing rocks at him. They're booing him, canceling every event he's at. Canadians are stalking him like awesome. And I'll guarantee you, he gets in. Guarantee you.
So who's his opposition? Who's his opposition?
So here in Canada, we have 5 parties. We have the Green Party, we have the NDP Party, we have the Progressive Conservatives, we have the Liberals, and the PPC Party. The PPC Party right now is run by Maxime Bernier. Under Maxime Bernier, we've found that he's a slimy slime ball, but he's openly saying that he wants no back sports. He doesn't want any of this stuff. And I've actually stood on stage with him several times. I know the man quite personally, but he's done some shady shit. Aaron O'Toole for the Progressive Conservative Party, he's the one that's openly stating that, and conservative parties usually rule our parliament. That's how Canada is. We're very conservative people.
Yeah.
But he's openly stating that he wants back sports and he wants to look after the people and all this stuff. What they're going to do, the Green Party, they're just a bunch of hippies. They don't even care. Like, we don't even care about them. The NDP, run by a terrorist, honest to God, Vijay Singh, who is the leader of the NDP party, is an openly disbanded terrorist from, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Openly terrorist from India. He was born in Canada, but he openly denounced the Air India bombing here in Canada, which happened back in the 80s, where the Sikh religion blew up a plane from Scotland, I believe it was. Oh, I'm not supposed to talk about this. Whatever, man. I'm not. This is my platform. I'm not on real. Why am I not allowed to talk about this stuff?
Who said that? Somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody from our team is a little worried. Well, I'm going to say this. I'm not lying. And to that person, the reason, so I'll get honest with you, because I hope you're still watching and I hope you haven't signed out of it yet, but I'm going to tell you the truth right now. The reason why we're in this mess right now is because we were too scared to talk about this 20 years ago. The reason why we're in this mess right now is we were too scared to talk about this 40 years ago. Well, now we're talking about it. And it's a high time that we start talking about it now and not lying to ourselves. I understand the detriment that you put yourself in, and you figure that you have these death threats and all these people doxing and all this stuff. I've lived that my whole life for the last 6 years. I'm still here. I have gang stalking of RCMP officers outside my house on the daily. I have planes flying over my house on the daily. I have helicopters flying over my house on the daily. I have things in my life that I've been under so much pressure that at this point in my life, I am not going to sugarcoat it anymore. The days of political correctness is over. We have been politically correct for too long. Okay? Yep. It's not that it's Sorry, I'm getting.
No, you're right. No, look, yeah, we have to be. Yeah, look, I have to be, very careful, and there's people there worried about me, Pat. You know what I mean? Because I'm in a precarious position, and my wife. You know what I mean? But listen, it's our opinion only. And I've said nothing on here. I've not incited anyone to do anything. I'm giving my opinion on what I think. My push for the moment, as I said, is our constitutional law, which is why I put up that picture of that policeman getting absolutely slammed. You know what I mean? But you guys are in a different stage, Pat. You have a Second Amendment, mate. You know what I mean? Over there, in Canada, that may not have, but you still have the same sort of thing. I know it's not under the American Constitution.
We don't have a Second Amendment.
No, you don't. But you guys have still got your Second Amendment rights, let's say.
We
Maybe
have
not.
we can own it. We have one of the most strictest. Gun laws in the world. That you go through an actual scrutinized regime of investigation under owning a weapon, and when you do, you're actually checked and monitored every 6 months to make sure that hasn't changed, that you haven't done a crime, you haven't done this. What it's done is given us the right to own our weapons and own firearms, but it's also gone and shown them that owning weapons and firearms is a very responsible thing, and it's an honor to do that.
Yeah.
So every person who owns a firearm is the utmost standing citizen in the country.
Yeah. And we just don't have that. Look, I can say that about a lot of the people that I knew that had firearms back in the day when we were allowed to have them, Pat. They had firearms because they enjoyed firearms. I was never a shooter or anything like that, but these guys had firearms because they loved going out into our bush over the mountain here, before we had all these rules and regulations 30 and 40 years ago, where you could go and do what you wanted to, on people's
Why
properties.
did they take your guns away? What was the thing? I want to know. I don't know.
Okay, we had a red flag at a place called Port Arthur in Tasmania. Okay.
We call it a false flag.
Okay, false flag, whatever you want to call it. Okay, but that's what happened. And we had a guy down there, Bryant, guy with a last name of Bryant, and he supposedly was such a good marksman. He took out a heap of people in a very, very short time, but he wasn't really that good a marksman. Things look a bit dodgy about it, but funnily enough, mate, that was 1996, I think it was, Patrick. So 86, we built Parliament House. Maybe the residents there might be the DS, okay? So by 96, we had the false flag. Guess what? They're all gone. They asked us, amnesty, please hand them in. Everyone gave them in.
They tried to do it here, but we saw through the holes of the false flag. We've seen it. So now Trudeau went and go ahead, and he's trying to ban our firearms. Yeah. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
We all lost them in a hunt. We all lost them in a hunting accident last year. They fell to the bottom of the lake.
Fell out the boat. But that's what gives you.
The same way you Aussies lost yours in the outback hunting for crops.
That's right. And that gives you the power. Not that you're going to stand up with them or anything else, Pat. I'm not saying that, but that gives you the power as people. That the government, but the government realizes that you have them. Okay, and if you push a man into a corner, you know what I mean? You're going to push a man into a corner, Okay, but over here, we don't have that luxury. They are not scared of us people because we don't, they just look at us as if you're idiots. You can't stop us, So that's sort of where we are here in Australia, But look, we're watching you guys fight, and I'm letting that news out over here through Real Deal Media. We're getting that out and around the place, and other platforms and that. America's fighting, but again, I just heard this morning, and I'm not going to put up the clips on that, Pat, because we'll get off here in a minute. It's getting late over there, and I know you've got rallies tomorrow. But yeah, I've just seen some clips where 12 or 14 of your best pilots, the American pilots, right, for these latest aircraft they've got. Have you seen that, Pat? Yeah, where they just walked off the job, mate.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know what the guy's words were? God help Taiwan now.
Do you know who we have right now? We have a lady who has been 20-year tenure at one of our largest, most prestigious universities, Western University in Ontario, London, Ontario. I almost went to that university. And in that university, she's been teaching ethics. And she's a 20-year tenure at teaching ethics. when she came in, I'm not kidding. They came to her last week and told her she can't teach anymore unless she gets the jab. She put out a message to her students, to everybody she's taught, to every one of them. And I'll put this video out. It's pretty provocative. It's pretty unreal.
Yeah.
This lady screams, or this lady says in her thing, I'm going to teach you like I'm a teacher right now. I am teaching you ethics. And in ethics, this is wrong. You do not do this to people. And ladies and gentlemen, I have loved my job. I have taught world leaders on ethics. This is how high up this lady is. And she states in it that openly, honestly, she isn't doing it. She's not taking it, and she's terminating her job at the university because she's an ethics teacher and she can't do this.
Yeah.
So, and she breaks down bawling and crying.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, Pat. We've had people ringing here, mate, you know, friends from in Wollongong, you know, and around here, different people that follow my page and that have rung Mel here bawling their eyes out, mate, because they're about to lose their jobs and how do they hold their mortgage, you know what I mean, and this, that, and the other. And it's just like, it's absolutely insane, mate. But
well, we've done it here to help people in employment positions to stand up and fight for their rights with informed consent documents, notices of liability, all of that stuff. That hey, I'll take your job, absolutely, but give me informed consent first.
Yeah,
I want to know what's in it. I want to know what it's going to do to me. Find that information out for me, and I'll make my own judgment. I'll make my own decision. But in Canada, they've actually gone and hidden the law. They put it in the archive on our government of Canada. If you go on to canada.gc.ca, you'll find it, and it says archive, immunization in Canada. It states in our Constitution that a constitutional right to choose whether religion, medical, or your conscience, your own conscience says you don't want to take it. Under a constitution, you can't take it.
Yeah.
The government knows this is illegal. So what have they done here? They put it on the onus onto the businesses. What they've done, though, is they've bribed the businesses to enforce this. Why did they bribe the businesses to enforce this? Because the businesses have been out of work for 2 years and they need money. So they're like, hell yeah, man, pay me, I'll do this. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They weren't expecting me. They weren't expecting a certified safety professional whose job is to stand up for the workers. And I came out with a bunch of documents and I said, to hell with you guys. This ain't happening. Now, I do some pretty far-reaching stuff out here. And there's a lot of people behind me that are doing the same thing. And it's working.
That's right.
It's working here. We're turning the tides on them. Yeah. We're flogging them in the courts. We're flogging them with the documents. We're flogging them with the videos. My good buddy's sitting in jail right now.
Yeah.
Because he's telling you guys all of this. He's telling people around the world all of it.
Yeah. And he's doing a good job of it.
And the stuff that's going on, like he came off a plane on international flight. They said he had to get quarantined. He told him, shove it up your ass. I don't need to under a constitutional right. All of a sudden, he's a friggin' local hero because he used his rights. He exercised his rights.
His rights. Yeah.
Now, I'm not trying to get you guys in trouble, but right now you're so far behind the 8 ball. You need to start exercising your rights. In Australia, you need to start standing up. If you don't want this, they can't do this to you. And like that gentleman said in the video, it's within your inalienable rights as a human being to decide for yourself your way of living.
Yeah.
I do not accept your offer to contract. I do not accept any of your terms because I am a human being under inalienable rights. You cannot touch me. And I don't accept your offer to contract. And everybody needs to understand that.
Yep. And if you don't know it, folks, you need to get onto these common law groups, all right? There's plenty of them around because that's where our Constitution stands, okay? And that's what the law which, protects us. And that's all it's about, folks. It's about our protection. Okay. We're not getting protected anywhere else. Okay.
My biggest thing I want to tell people is I'm not going to save you. Guru's not going to save you. Mel's not going to save you. Real Deal Media ain't going to save you. The only one who's going to save you is yourself.
Yeah.
You need to save yourself. SOS. Save our souls. We did a thing last year where we divulged documentation to the United States consulate in Ottawa, 15,000 strong. The only thing that's stopping us right now is we have what's called the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement. The reason why they haven't parked the CCP and the UN troops on our borders is because they know that the industrial complex and the giant military complex of the United States will not allow enemies on their northern border. That's what's saving us. We did that last year. And that's the only thing that's saving us. If at any time that Trudeau or these government officials here in Canada decide to do that, World War III is here in North America.
Yeah.
So you guys will be all right down there in the South, but you're going to see what happens to the land of the home of the brave and the land of the free. You're going to see what happens. And this is where you're going to see what we did back in 1770 or 1796, 1776. Sorry, you're going to see that again, because we left Western Europe. We left Europe. We left in the early 1400s because of the monarchies and the tyranny and all the stuff that was going on over there. We left. We came here to stop what was happening over there. We built ourselves colonies. We amalgamated with the native people, albeit that we were very brutal to our native people here. But we're making amends, and it was horrible. But we've lived relatively good, and now they're coming again. Don't push us against the wall. Don't put us in a corner. This is driven into our culture. This is the way we are. You don't want to see World War III in North America, because it'll be just devastating. It'll be horrible, because we will fight till there's no fight left in us.
Well, you're fighting for your life. Yeah. So we'll see.
I'm not trying to get you guys in trouble. I'm not trying to. I try and give people a little bit of a history lesson of things that we've forgotten.
Yep. Honest opinions. Look, I'm fine, mate. Honest opinions are honest opinions. As I say, I'm careful with what I do, but I've been told I'm allowed to have my opinion. You know what I mean? And my opinion is my opinion. Whether people want to believe it or not, that's up to them. Go and do your research, is what I tell everyone. Okay, so
prove me wrong.
Yeah, prove us wrong. Yeah, I would love you to, folks, because if you can prove us wrong, man, I can just head down the coast, go surfing, do a few things, and do what I want to sort of do. But at this present time, folks, we can't do that, mate. You know what I mean? We're locked in, and as I said, I'm asking the question a lot now to you people who have actually conformed. Okay, I don't think it's fair, and I'm a fair bloke. Okay, I'm saying this from my heart. Okay, I don't think it's fair that you have actually gone out and done what you've done to conform with the government, and you are still locked in your house. Seriously, I'm fighting the so-called law to say that I don't want it. But I seem to be the minority. Well, actually, when I look at the vaccination, when I look at the actual people who may have had that jab over here, the real figures, you might find out that I'm not actually in that much of a minority, Pat, that I may be in a bit of a majority. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are like me. They don't want to have this experiment, okay, but they're too scared to stand up. So if you're too scared to stand up, well, you need to be pushing the button on your emails, okay, and you need to be creating havoc through other means. You need to be ringing your local members. You need to be getting behind the common law groups, okay, and getting these documents out there, which is telling these people to cease and desist, okay? I've told you why Berejiklian's not here, folks, okay? Look it up and check it if you want. Okay, she's not here for a reason, mate. She's up in front of ICAC. Now, why, Daniel Andrews, you know what I mean, was out of fact action there for 3 months because he touched up, Lindsay Fox's daughter. These are the people that are running our states, people. And if you can't see that these people are not ethical, okay, and they don't have any of your interest in hand, okay, well, I really don't know what to do about it. But
what's the government's number one position? What's the government's number one job?
To look after the people.
To do what's in the best interest of the people.
Yep.
Is
Yeah.
this what's in the best interest of the people?
Yeah, I certainly don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Yeah. So we're going to leave it there, folks. All right, we're just going to cut out. Pat's got a big day tomorrow. I thank him for coming in. Okay, we'll get this shared out and get it around to a few people. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon over here, Pat, but this will certainly get out to a few now by the time night time comes around and everyone heads back into their curfew.
Curfew?
I wish
you
you all-
guys are still under curfew?
Well, more or less in the hot spots, yeah. 9 o'clock, you can't go out, mate.
Hot
Yeah,
spots. That was the
Yeah.
other thing that made me laugh. Hot spots.
yeah.
So this thing's so damn smart, it only affects people in a certain area. This
Yeah.
thing's so smart that it only affects people at a certain time.
Yeah.
This thing is so smart, it knows what time. It's got a clock. It's got a clock. It knows what time to come out at. This thing's so
Yeah.
smart that it has a measuring tape and can tell if you're 6 feet away from somebody. That's how smart this is. Fucking genius.
Well,
Genius.
it's man-made, so it is pretty smart, Pat. So from Pat King sitting over there in Canada, we wish you, Pat, all the best for tomorrow, the upcoming days you've got over the weekend, doing what you're doing over there, mate, promoting, freedom and peace and love. That's what you guys are out trying to do. It's just, unfortunately, the other side doesn't like us preaching that sort of stuff, mate, out there. So from Real Deal Media, myself, Pat, thank you. There was a few people we didn't get to we were going to have on the show. Okay, Romeo, sorry, mate, but we just had, you can ask Pat, mate, we had major problems before we even got on here. Then we're going to do it with phones, but we actually got in. So, this is just, just something just to let you, let Pat have a quick chat to you and me to get me head out here again, not saying anything wrong, but just tell you people that, we just need to keep holding the line. We need to keep doing the stuff that we're allowed to do, okay? And we need to stand on our constitutional rights and our common law, okay? Because that is our friend at this present time. So
exercise those rights. Those rights were given to you by the men and women of our armed forces who fought and died for you to have the life you have. Don't do them wrong. They're turning in their graves right now watching it.
Yeah. And they were the people that won them for us, but the actual right was God-given, Pat, just like as you guys, mate. It was God-given to you, and nobody can take away what God gives, mate. That's as simple as that, okay? So
when he
thanks
says
for
God-given, he means inalienable rights.
Inalienable rights, exactly right. So thank you, folks, for tuning in, okay? We'll get this back out there, get it shared around, and, wish Patrick all the best because they're going to rallies tomorrow, which, we can't have at the moment over here in Australia, but let's watch the Canadians do it over there on the weekend, folks. I'm sure Pat will send me a few clips from wherever they are and give us an update, and I'll get them out there. So thank you. Everybody take care. God bless, and get prepared. That's what I'm saying. Get prepared.
Remember your Cub Scout motto.
That's it. Be prepared.
Be prepared. And to everybody else out there, how does it go? It goes like this. May the odds forever be in your favor.
Amen. See you, folks.